Holy crap, a 2-episode day, wasn't even expecting it. The last 24 hours have been a shit show. The last 6 months have been nothing but false hope, it seems. Let's jump into it. Yesterday, which would have been January 10th, 2023, after all the speculation, it became official. Vince McMahon was reelected as the executive chairman of the board of the WWE. Shortly after that, Stephanie McMahon sends out a press release stating how she previously had taken a leave of absence and after that had become co-chair, CEO of the WWE, and now she's taking it a step further. She is resigning from WWE altogether. This morning, I wake up and see news that it seems that there is a principal deal in place for WWE to sell to a Saudi investment group, and that the company, after the sale, will become a private company. That's a lot to take in, and shit, for me, it was under about 12 hours. Triple H has to be next, right? I mean, there's no way he's going to stay on if the only reason he would stay on is for the talent to kind of guide them through this tumultuous period. But this has to be the end, right? There's no way that after all of this has happened, the old man was finally out. The perv got busted. He was gone. Triple H was in control. Creative was headed in the right direction. The show was more than palatable. It was enjoyable, minus Raw being 3 hours. And everything started to seem on the upswing. Talent that was previously released and not pushed were coming back. Rumors that FTR was coming back. And now this happens. All of a sudden, Vince says, you know what? Fuck that. I'm back. We're doing this. And here's the thing. If the Saudis do make this a private company, they can just put Vince in control and they'll all be happy. I don't know how loyal those WWE hardcore loyalists are going to be. I would think they're going to lose a lot of fans just due to who they're selling the company to. But then again, some of those hardcore fans may not give a shit. This has to be demoralizing for the talent. I don't see a way where, a lot of people are going to be happy, minus your flagship people, most of which are on Legends deals at this point. I would think Sami Zayn's going to bounce, which is a damn shame because he's been the best thing in WWE over the last year. And that's another thing to think about. I mean, if this is all true and it all happens, you got to think Sami Zayn is gone. Does AEW take over as the number one wrestling promotion in the world just based on the bankroll that Tony Khan has? I mean, I think we can safely say that they're not the best as far as product goes. But yeah, and then what about NXT? I mean, there are so many things to take in about this. Professor and I were really hoping that we could, get together and have a lengthy discussion about this. Unfortunately, we both work 9-to-5 jobs. So it is what it is, as it is. I'm doing this brief recording, before my next meeting just to get something out there, to kind of just throw this stuff out there, to start a discussion. This is absolute insanity. When you think things couldn't get any crazier, it was 6 months for WWE to do a complete about face. Everything was sky's the limit. We might be returning to a second golden age here. It was going to take some time, but we certainly look to be heading in the right direction. And now the future is just completely uncertain. Again, there is no official word that I have seen that the sale is etched in stone, but it's certainly being reported by, Kenny McIntosh, Sean Ross Sapp, a lot of your more reliable, Dave Meltzer, your higher, I guess your more reliable wrestling journalists. You take that with a grain of salt as you may, but this isn't some chatter from some bot account on Twitter. A whirlwind 24 hours. Like I said, Stephanie resigning, I think, speaks volumes. She did it with class. She did it with dignity. Whether she was asked to leave, forced out, or just made the decision that I want no part of this, either way, it seems like she's valued very much by the staff at Titan Towers and the talent themselves. And again, you got to give her props. As much shit as we want to talk about her, she definitely was an ambassador for that company, and without her there, it's a giant loss. And she handled this whole thing with class. Like I said, I can't stress that enough. Again, you have to think that Triple H is close behind. It's got to be close behind. And you know what? I'll close on this. Me just being a mark and throwing my hat in the ring. I think a lot of us were thinking, oh well, Tony Khan's dad has a ton of money. Maybe they'll buy the E. That certainly doesn't seem to be the case right now. But Triple H could do a lot of good in AEW. He could just start his own promotion, or he could just talk to TK and say, listen, fire your EVPs, including Jericho, and let me run the show. If that happens, we might have one of the greatest wrestling products ever. Or the status quo could continue and everything can be shit. Good time to be a wrestling fan. Deuces.
Oh!